Hello, Star Bears! Welcome to another love and relationship reading. I took a 2-week hiatus because I just needed a break and I was feeling really tired and uninspired and unmotivated and had my own shadow work to do. But we are back, and if this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe if you have not already done so. This is a general love and relationship reading, not even zodiac specific, but if you felt drawn to this message at this time, or if it resonates for you, either now or a month or two from now, then this message is for you. Now I've got the Divine Masculine card and the Divine Feminine card, but it's not gender specific. So whether you identify with those words, or it can also just represent person A, person B, and you can see which side you identify most with. All right, let's get going here. I'm going to start by getting an overall energy from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Overall energy of this love and relationship partnership for those who feel drawn to this message and for whom this resonates. Okay, I just have to say, this is really bizarre. These two cards came out together, and they also came out together when I did my own personal reading yesterday. These two cards. And actually they've come out together in the past. Now, I just want to point out that the fox, who is the observer, this is the idea of stepping back from a situation if you're too close to it so that you can have a more impartial observation or perception. And here we have the zoomed in look, the moon up close with the owl perched on top, which represents wisdom, intuition, subconscious, things that you already just know. So already I can tell you, without even reading from the book, that you're being encouraged to step back from a situation to gain a greater perspective, and you'll find that you already know certain things. But we'll see what the book says. I'll put these up here. Oh, but they were reversed. Right. Forgot about that. So we'll just put them here. And I will share with you the information. Starting with, 49. The essential meanings to observer are perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Boy, isn't that hard to do in love and relationships. Because it was reversed, I will read the protection message. Ever think sometimes your life options are suction cupped to your face and you can't see beyond yourself? There's a big world out there, a multitude of potential realities that you're unable to perceive at present, so you're a little stuck? It's time to get advice from someone you trust. Someone who has a better perspective on your circumstances. Other points of view are needed now before you move forward. Take heart! A beautiful vista is waiting for you to drink it in. You just need a little help widening your scope beyond your small self. I should really have that explanation memorized by now. You would not believe how many times this card has come out in the last few weeks, in reverse even. And then we have deep knowing. The essential meanings are intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. This was also in reverse, so the protection message is, you are in empathy overload and need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for a recharging of your batteries. Set energetic boundaries. Take a salt bath. Empty your mind and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough you can let your guard down. Right now you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? Seems like, since this is a love and relationship reading, there's an issue that is draining you and you need to step back and take a break and get some perspective. I think that's the overall message right there that I think we're going to be getting. So now I'm going to dive in and see what energies we get on each side. starting with the Divine Masculine, which could be both male or female. It's not gender specific. It's just whichever side you resonate most with. Then we're going to do the Divine Feminine side and then the mutual energies. Okay, starting with Eight of Swords reversed. Now this is the in-between deck. So reversals just mean that you are stuck in this phase, in this energy, and not going to be moving to the next energy phase anytime soon. Eight of Swords is confusion, self-imposed restrictions, self-limiting beliefs. It can be depression. It can be mental health issues. It's this idea of being trapped, but by your own misconceptions, misperceptions. Now in this deck, he's clearly tied and bound. But in traditional tarot, it's a woman surrounded by swords with a blindfold. But the understanding is she could remove the blindfold and walk through the swords at any point. But she's sort of keeping herself there because she's confused or there's something unbalanced, something not quite right. It can also mean isolation, being blind to our own limitations and weaknesses. But it's also an 8 in numerology, which means it's movement from one state to another. It's the energy of evolution. So this is transformative energy, energy that pushes you to move to the next level. But it's generally not a very good energy to be in. It's, in my opinion, one of the most negative cards in the deck. Now, of course, that's just a matter of perception. But it would seem that on the Divine Masculine side or Partner Ace side, there is some anxiety, some confusion, some self-limiting beliefs that need to be overcome. Feelings of not being good enough, feelings of not being loved, feelings of not being accepted, comparing yourself to others. Whatever those beliefs are that make you feel small, that make you feel limited, or the other person, that is present. That's definitely the kind of energy you might want to step away from to get some greater perspective. Maybe you would have to step away from the swords, which are represented by pillars, I believe, in this card. You would have to step farther away to realize that that's all there is. There's nothing there keeping you there. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is the energy of victory. Short-lived victory, but victory nonetheless, following a time of chaos and strife. However, this being the in-between deck, it's the energy in between that victory that was attained and the Seven of Wands, which is actually a defensive energy, an energy in which you are outnumbered and feeling the need to defend yourself. Now you are holding your own, or the person is holding their own, again, it's 6 against 1, but, or in this particular card, it's 6 against 2, which makes sense because it's the in-between, between 6 and 7. But it is this energy of being outnumbered, but holding your own, being on higher ground, having the upper hand, and you're going to get through it. But you do have to defend yourself against the naysayers or the people criticizing you or the people who are against you, your enemies. Now, in this particular deck, there is a storyline that goes with each of the suits. And in this particular storyline, these guys are like fire jugglers and they just won a contest for the best act, but there were already people watching in jealousy. There were envious eyes watching them. And so their victory was short-lived. He's tossing his laurel leaf crown away because it's like, okay, our time of being in the limelight's over. Now we've got to, you know, battle all of these people that are jealous, all these people that are trying to bring us down. That's kind of the energy of this card. Getting ready to be defensive, getting ready to fight for yourself, what you believe, what you are doing, whatever it is. It's this in-between energy of There was some victory that just happened. Some accomplishment, some achievement, some success that has just happened in the energy of the divine masculine or partner A. But now it was short-lived, and now there's some dissenters, there's some backlash, maybe there's people who have something negative to say, either about that person or about the victory that they just had. Then we have 4 of coins in the reverse, which again just means stuck in that energy, and that is stuck energy. 4 of coins is stuck. It's the energy of the hoarder, of the person who's hanging on and doesn't want to let go, either of their money or their material things. It can also mean not letting go of an idea or of beliefs or of feelings that somebody has, just being really stubborn. It's a very stubborn and stuck energy. Now in this deck, it's these suffragette women who are just starting to realize the poor working conditions that they're in. And they're on the floor cleaning up after their corrupt boss, and they're seeing the rats on the floor with them and realizing, hey, this isn't right. This isn't fair. So it's kind of a card of recognizing an injustice. Now, if this were in the upright in this deck, it would mean that they are building up the courage to walk away. Of course, 5 of Pentacles is the energy of walking away, feeling left out in the cold, or leaving something behind, looking for something better. But in this case, it's just the energy of starting to recognize the injustice of a situation, the unfairness of a situation. Now, this could also be realizing that in yourself, starting to realize your shadow side, something that needs work. Maybe it's following something that happened, right? Something that people said, some criticism or critique or complaint, or something that was said, and now they're starting to look within, or they're feeling unfairly attacked and wondering if they should even stay in that situation. And since this is a love and relationship reading, it might be them wondering if they should stay in the relationship. Then we have the Lovers, also in reverse, so it's this energy and not the next, which is the Chariot. And the Lovers, of course, is about lovers, but it's a 6, which is recovery after chaos. But it's also making a decision regarding you and your loved one. It's making an important decision. Basically, do I stay or do I go? And the Chariot follows the Lovers, which would be the energy of going, moving towards what you think is the right decision. However, it was reversed, so it's not yet having made a decision. But it's also taking into account other factors. Like in this card, there's a child. And the story behind the Lovers card in this deck is that they now have more people to think about other than just each other. They also have a child to be concerned for, and now they have to take into consideration the greater threats around them and protect their own, protect what's theirs. So it's a choice. It's a very important choice that needs to be made, that you're being called to make, or that person A or divine masculine is being called to make. We also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is the energy of knowing the truth, sitting in truth, not taking any crap from anyone. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's hard to get to know and hard to build their trust. But once you do, then they open up to you. It's also having a BS radar. It's like the sword of BS. They have a good sense of whether or not people are being truthful with them. In this particular deck, it's also the energy of defensiveness, defending their own, protecting their people. As you can see, not gender specific, the Queen is being represented by a man. He's a little bit harsh. He's a little bit, don't you dare come near me. I'm not sure I can trust you. I'm not sure you're telling the truth. There is a lack of trust. There is a sense of high defensiveness, which comes with this card as well. Oh, look, they're kind of in a similar position. Using their suits to protect themselves. Suits as in the suits of the tarot. He's got the sword, she's got the wand. Protection. Being defensive. Okay. Yes, that was reversed. So, there's some very heavy energies here on the Divine Masculine side, Partner A side. A feeling of confusion, being attacked, the need to defend, and questioning whether or not to stay in the relationship. Now we're going to take a look at the Divine Feminine side, Partner B. Not gender specific, could be male or female. Whatever side you resonate with. Again, this reading will not be for everyone. If you're watching this and you're actually in a very healthy, happy, thriving relationship, this is definitely not for you. Also, this doesn't necessarily mean an ending is coming. It just means that there are things to work on and that a break, a time of separation, maybe a holiday is needed. I'm not sure. But these cards certainly indicated a need to step back and gain a different perspective. Okay, wow. We got the Magician, which is, it's the primal originating force, the idea. Simply the idea in your mind, the awareness that when you think of something, you can make it happen with divine timing, of course, and whether it is part of the plan. It's the idea as above, so below. So it's balance. It's the idea of yin and yang, dark and light, male, female. It's also having mastery of all the suits, whether it's material things, emotions, thoughts, ideas, passions, beliefs. The Magician has a belt that is the snake biting its tail, which is the Ouroboros, which, interestingly enough, oh, not this deck, is on the back of the in-between deck. There it is again. That's the symbolism of delicate balance. Everything needing to be in divine order. This is an awareness that thoughts are powerful, but also knowing what you want. Or starting to get an idea of what you want and how to get it. Next we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. Now pages represent children or people that are younger than you. Can represent an immature energy, the energy of somebody who's just learning new things, but it also can represent the gift of a new opportunity. As you can see, he's presenting a pentacle. So it could be a new opportunity that's coming. However, it was reversed, which means that it's not. Or it could also mean that the person that Partner B or the Divine Feminine is dealing with is a little bit immature. Or it might mean that the Divine Feminine is immature. It also can mean that things are not materializing, especially appearing after the Magician. It's this idea of, I am trying so hard to make something happen, and it's just not happening. That's kind of what that means so far. We also have the Empress. The Empress is the energy of manifestation, of bringing things into the world, birthing ideas and passions, inspiration, which the Magician is one. The Magician is the idea. This is so strange. I was just talking about this in the messages from Spirit reading, and now it's all coming out again. So if the Magician is simply the idea, and 2 is weighing choices, making decisions. 3 is actually making something happen, starting to build the foundations of whatever it is you're doing, your project, or in this case with the relationship, it can mean birthing a baby, but it could also just mean wanting to make something happen. So if the Divine Feminine or Partner B is wanting more commitment, they're wanting that to actually become a tangible reality. They're wanting the commitment to be made. Maybe a proposal, maybe a ring, maybe to move in together, maybe to buy a dog together. Whatever it is, whatever the Divine Feminine or Partner B wants, There's the desire to see it manifest, but it is not, as the reverse Page of Pentacles is telling us. So there's obviously a dissonance, something that's not working here. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is, it's actually normally a positive card. It's about having material abundance, but having achieved it independently. This woman is very comfortable. She has everything she could possibly want. Beautiful, gorgeous clothes. She has a falcon, a hooded falcon, who's clearly at her beck and call and does what she asks it to do. But it's something that took a long time to work towards, as the snail indicates. This is the woman, this is the card of singlehood. The single woman, the woman who achieved all of this on her own. Now, this could mean that the Divine Feminine needs to step aside for a little while, not necessarily a permanent separation, but to step aside to work on themselves, to build up their own wealth, maybe to become financially independent or emotionally independent. I don't know. It could also mean that the Divine Feminine, partner B, has done that work, has become financially independent and emotionally independent. And this is where she stands. I mean, the Empress is also that as well. These are two very powerful energies, actually. Seems the Divine Feminine, partner B, is in their power. They're in their power, however, something's not quite happening for them that they want. So whether she's contemplating singlehood, making it on her own, maybe she's contemplating, can I make it on my own? Can I do things on my own? Will I be okay on my own if this is what's happening, if we are going to part ways, if we're going to separate? Can I do it on my own? Or it could signify that, yes, she can. And she knows it. See what resonates for you. Then we have the Seven of Wands. Isn't that interesting? Remember this card here? Look at that. They are almost identical. Except, interestingly, on the Divine Masculine side, we have the female depicted here, and on the Divine Feminine side, we have the male depicted here. Isn't that interesting? So clearly there's some conflict with each other. They are not communicating. They're not understanding each other. They don't want the same things. There's something that is a hot button issue. They're button heads. They are not, there is some major conflict here that is not getting resolved anytime soon, because they both embody this energy of being defensive. They both have their walls up, their guard up, their shields up. Now, interestingly, in this card, there is a second person involved, so I don't know if this indicates third-party energy, which would mean that there's another person involved in some way. I'm not making any statements here, just throwing that out there. That there could be another person involved in this. Now, I'm not indicating infidelity. It could also be a friend giving advice. It could be a parent that's pressuring one or the other, an in-law. It could be a sibling, what have you, a boss. There's third-party energy here that could be affecting the situation, at least on one side of the relationship. So, very interesting. Very interesting. It seems like both parties are debating what to do. Should we go on? Should we stay together? Should we separate? Which would explain the need to step back and see the greater perspective. Perhaps even seeing the other person's perspective. Both people need to step back, gain some deep knowing, some intuitive awareness of the owl. And foxes are very smart as well. They're very cunning and clever. And so we have two very smart animals represented here. So you're both smart cookies. And this probably could be resolved simply by understanding each other's side a little bit better. So now I'm going to get the mutual energies here. We were just looking at each side individually. Okay, starting with Ace of Earth. This is a new beginning, clean slate, a gift from the universe of a new opportunity. Could be a new relationship, could also be a new version of the relationship that exists currently. It's a shift, a change, perhaps something that you both want being made manifest. Maybe it's what the Divine Feminine has been trying to manifest. Maybe it's a new job, a new opportunity. It could also mean luck, a change in luck, a change in the wind. Something will happen. This could mean that both parties want the same thing. But let's keep going. We have Two of Water, which is Two of Cups, which is love. Unconditional love, it's partnership, it's soulmates, it could be marriage. So the mutual energies is love. Love is there. Love is there. So I think it's safe to say you both want the same thing, but maybe not necessarily. We also have Six of Air, which is the Six of Swords, which is leaving a rough situation for a better situation. In the traditional tarot, it's a woman being rowed away from choppy waters to calmer waters. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean walking away from the current relationship for a new one, but it does go nicely hand in hand with stepping back and taking a break to regroup, to re-examine, to figure out what it is you really want. There's definitely an energy of stepping away, moving away. Maybe it seems the conflict has been pretty intense, I would guess, from both of you having Seven of Wands. So you definitely need to cool it for sure. We have the Star, which is hope, inspiration. It's what you both want. You both do see each other as the star. You see each other as the prize, the goal. So the love is there. The love is real. I would say don't throw it all away just yet. Unless, of course, there's danger, there's abuse or manipulation. If that's present, obviously this is a different situation then. But if it's just misunderstanding and conflict, then you still hope for things to work out. You want the same thing. You want the relationship to work because you feel it is your calling to be together. This is the Judgment card, but also it's a wake-up call kind of card. It's about making amends, tying up loose ends before you move on to the next phase, before you end one chapter and go into a new one. Making amends. You both want to make amends with each other. You do. So I think what you are being invited to do is to take a break, step back, give each other some breathing room, and take some time to meditate or a retreat, or maybe hang out with some friends and get some outside, get some clarity, get some impartial advice, or see what your intuition has to say, and just don't give up on this relationship. It seems like there's a lot of love there. There is hope to continue. There's hope that it will continue. The Star card is a very powerful card. You see each other that way, as being that for each other. So just going to draw a crystal message to close. You got Bronzite, number 13, and 3 and 1 reduces to 4, which is holding on, not letting go. Okay? The essential meanings are loyalty, trust, steadfastness, self-respect, trusting that the conscious universe has your back. The relationship messages, even if you have been betrayed in the past, you can heal the sting by extending trust again, as challenging as that may be. Bronzite Spirit reminds you that this time, however, you are much wiser and stronger, much more mindful of the signs that signal you need to step back and nurture yourself. Being true to another is an expression of the beauty of the divine, and you have this capacity. Your loyalty and steadfastness will be rewarded by the conscious universe, perhaps in ways you don't expect. Be true to yourself, knowing that a loving, respectful relationship with yourself lays the groundwork for a loving, respectful relationship with another. Remember, you are always protected when divinely directed. My battery's about to die, so I hope I can get this in. I really get the strong message that this is not a hopeless cause at all. You both want the same thing. So regardless of how difficult things have been, just take a step back, take a break, take care of yourselves, focus on self-care, focus on what you really want, and then try coming back together and talk things through. Try to understand the other person's perspective. Don't give up. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There's a lot of hope here. There's a lot of love. And so don't be afraid to ask for divine help. Don't be afraid to ask your guides, your angels for help. But most of all, just be compassionate and open and loving towards each other, to your partner. And try to understand their side, but also use your own intuition and knowing of the situation to bring your walls down, to bring your boundaries down, and to be less defensive. Best of luck to you as you work things out with your loved one. Love and light to you. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is the Six of Wands. There's an there is a lack of trust. Again, this reading will not be for anyone. Again, this reading will not be for everyone. If you take that out.